Welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome to this new edition of our Sports Tech Demo Day. I'm Tim, the Managing Director here at Colosseum, and we'll be starting in just a few seconds. Welcome everyone. As more and more people are joining, please feel free to use the chat, share your LinkedIn, let's connect. We're part of a global sports tech community all here, so let's connect. All right, guys, welcome. It is now 11 a.m. here in Miami, where I sit, U.S. Eastern Time. But we got people from all around the world today, so welcome everyone. I see already some familiar names and faces, so I'd like to welcome our judges, our startup, our speakers. It's great to have you all with us today for this 5th edition of the Sports Tech Demo Day. Again, my name is Tim. I'm the Managing Director at Colosseum, and it's an honor to have you all with us today. As we start this event, I'd like to invite you, to use the chat on your right side to feel free to share your LinkedIn profile to connect. I think this platform is very it's a good tool to engage, so feel free to connect with each other as we go through the event. Before we jump right into today's topic of this 5th session of our demo day, I'd like to share a few things with you first. We're going to be hosting at Colosseum our annual summit next December 7th to 9th, Sports Tech Nation. It's going to be a global event, very big one, very engaging virtually though. And please feel free to check out more info at sportstechnation.com. Free tickets are already available. Register, join us as we gather the whole global sports tech community and we move it and the sports industry forward. Also, I wanted to share that the winners of all the editions of our Sports Tech Demo Days will be pitching at the event, at the annual summit next December 8th during the Sports Tech Demo Day finals. So the winner today of the Sports Tech Demo Day here will be pitching among other counterparts from around the world that won the previous edition. So that's going to be an exciting occasion to really see the best of what Sports Tech has to offer. So again, join the event, sportstechnation.com. Few words about the format of today's event. So we'll have 4 startups, 4 investors, judges. The event will last approximately 60 minutes. I think it's going to be more around 45, but just to have this time secured. We would like to really keep track of time and allow the same amount of time for each startup to pitch and share more about their amazing products. So it's going to be 4 minutes per startup. We're going to send you a 1 minute left notification on the chat. And then once the 4 minute expires, we will take over the screen and go back to the conversation with the judges. We'll have 4 minute Q&A with our judges today. And again, the shorter the questions, the shorter the answers, the more questions we can fit in. So we'll try to ask as many questions as possible here, and then at the end we'll just do a roundtable with our judges, and they'll elect their top 2 pitches of the day, and based on those votes, we'll be able to select a winner, which will be awarded the top pitch of the day and qualify for the Sports Tech Demo Day finals, as I mentioned earlier. Today on the line, we have a great lineup of judges, and I got to say I'm very honored to welcome them all today with us. We got Marcia Sintra, angel investors from Brazil, from Gavela Angels. Marcia, a great pleasure to have you with us, and thank you so much for joining. We got Brendan Harris from Extend Capital. Brendan is a former MLB player, superstar player for years in the MLB, and it's a great honor to have him with us, join us today. Matilda Song, partner at Mindspring Capital, and also with her own venture capital fund. Matilda, amazing to have you with us, and we can't wait to present you some of those sports tech companies you're looking after. And then last but not least, Michael Proman. Michael has been with us from the very early days of those sports tech demo days, and it's always a great pleasure and honor to have him on the board, managing partner at Scrum Ventures. Welcome, Michael. Again, we'll have 4 startups pitching today: Playform, Check, Upster, and Podium in this order. And we got startups from actually all over the world, from Israel, from Denmark, the United States, and so more. So exciting to have them on board with us. And we got some great CEOs and founders that will be pitching their solutions and their companies. Shmulik, Scott, Peter, and Mike, welcome, and amazing to have you on board, and good luck today. So I think without further ado, we'll be welcoming Shmulik on the stage to share a little bit more about Playform and pitch what Playform has to offer to the sports and the soccer world in particular in this case. So Shmulik, welcome on stage, and good luck to you.
Thank you, Tim. Can you hear me?
We can hear you perfectly.
Yeah, great. So I'll just share my screen. Hi, everyone. Very nice to meet you. So can you see my screen?
We can now see your screen, and you'll see on your right side all the judges that are with us. Marcia, welcome. Brendan,
hello.
Nice to have you with us. Matilda as well, and Michael.
So Tim, let me know when my 4 minutes are starting.
For sure. So we're just waiting for Michael to join. Okay, Michael, you're there. I see you now. So Shmulik, you started. The stage is yours. You got 4 minutes. Good luck.
Thank you, Tim. Okay, hi everyone. My name is Shmulik, and I'm the CEO of Playform. So you probably know that data is the new oil. It's all around the world now. Still, looking on the sports market, only 2% of the athletes in the world have any access to their playing and data analytics. And actually, this is mainly because every kind of product that there was out there today, technology, which was based on hardware, was irrelevant to the mass market. So the combination of hardware and high cost makes the player analytics technology very irrelevant to the mass market, whether it's professionals camera, in-shoe sensors, and wearables. Playform removes the barriers to bring player analytics to everyone. So we are founded with a vision to empower youth soccer players with the latest and greatest technology to allow them to measure and improve their skills in real time, to enhance their practice while increasing their engagement and retention in the game. So for the last 2 years, we've been developing a great technology which is based only on mobile devices. So we took the smartphones and actually made them the analytics technology for players, because we understand that, again, the mass market will not use any hardware to be able to measure himself. So we wanted to take the only device that is on the fingertips of each and every youth and player out there today, which is the mobile phone. And we've developed a cross-platform application which works both for Android and iOS. It's a mobile-based real-time measurement and development platform for youth soccer players, no other equipment required. So we actually are bringing the elite level technology and putting it in the players' fingertips. We have done hundreds of tests with official tools used by FIFA and UEFA, and we have almost the same results like these tools by using mobile phone only. So we have built a mobile-based computer vision technology, which allows the player to pick up his phone, take a video himself by doing a set of drills, and our engine on the mobile device actually makes all the analysis in real time and provide to the player a full suite of analytics and insights of his performance. We also have a deep learning engine, which allows us to understand what is exactly the potential of the player and how he's doing relative to other players, and to predict his potential to become a professional player and what is his best workout strategy, and to offer him to take this strategy farther. So we are supporting now a growing list of drills and measurement. You can see them going on the board, and actually there are more and more which are being added as time goes by. And out of these drills, we are pulling out dozens of insights of various playing skills, from the specific drills to a full player assessment. We have the player assessment in the application. Based on that, our deep learning engine builds an automated workout strategy and offer it to the players. And we also understand that players today want the gaming experience, they want the esports experience. So we have a whole new set of features, which are soccer competition, which players can compete with each other, challenge each other, show off on social networks, and they actually can join into tournaments, which are worldwide tournaments, local tournaments, and others. This is the market we are targeting, almost 1 billion of youth athletes. The market is growing very, very fast. We are starting with youth soccer in the US. There are more than 40 million players in the US. Our model is a business model, is a freemium model. We are doing a rev share model with clubs and associations, and we have other revenue streams in the pipeline. This is the status. We've been building this technology for the last 2 years, doing a break research with the University of Chicago, and launched lately in the US. We are seeking now 5 million raising money, already have been invested in a company, $3 million. And we have secured additional 2 million from our existing investors.
Right.
And by mid next year, we plan to raise the next series. Thank you.
All right, amazing, Shmulik. Right on time. Thank you so much. I'll take the first question from our judges, and maybe Shmulik, you can come back to you and turn on your camera so that the judges will be able to see you.
Sure.
Matilda, maybe first question for Shmulik about Playform.
Yeah,
First of all, welcome.
Sure. Thanks, Shmulik. You're right. The youth market is certainly ripe for disruption here. I'm curious to learn a little bit more about your go-to-market strategy, especially in times that we're in right now, and how does that affect it? I think about distribution.
Sure. So our strategy is B2B2C. So we are partnering with youth associations and clubs, and also with other big organizations to bring on the players. So they are promoting our product through their associations and clubs. We are building a rev share model with them, so have the motivation to put us in front of the players, in front of the clubs. But eventually, the business model is that we are charging the single player. So this is our strategy at the moment. Eventually, when we will feel that the product is more mature, we also going to have some direct-to-consumer marketing channels. We're actually already doing some of it in Israel, and it works amazing. It works amazing because it's a very viral application. So we are not investing a lot of money yet. We're getting a lot of users.
All right, Marcia, I think you got a question for Shmulik. Welcome, Marcia, by the way.
Thank you. Delighted to take part in this event, Timothy. Thanks for inviting me. And congrats, Shmulik, for the amazing presentation. Coming from the sports industry myself, I can exactly see where you're heading to. My question to you, from the point of view of the investor, in case you foresee an exit sometime in the future, who would you say could be a strategic partner for Playform, let's say in Series A or B? Do you have anyone in mind? Have you thought about this already?
So we are looking now in terms of strategic partners to make some kind of a mix between sports organizations or sports investors and more like strategic investors, strategic VCs that can further fund us down the road. And this is where I am targeting, at least, to make the next fundraise.
Great, thank you.
All right, Brendan, as a former athlete yourself, maybe you got a question for Shmulik.
I did. Thanks for having me again. And I'll take that from kind of the user experience as well. I was wondering if you could go into the kind of the what specific analytics that you are capturing, and the specific value that you're giving to the youth market, and then how that's going to change between maybe within the youth market, getting up to the high school and maybe club team, and then and beyond in terms of your ability to scale.
Yeah, sure. So we are pulling out dozens of insights per drills, but we understand that players, even coaches, are not analysts. So we are not overwhelming them with all of the data that we have. We are sharing with them the data that we believe is the most important for them and is the most exciting from their point of view, that will lead them and motivate them to do more and more training and more practicing. So, for example, if you will go and do our jump, let's take the jump, okay, the vertical jump. So you will see a few insights in the application. You will see the height, of course, of your jump, but you will also be able to see what is the peak, the duration in which you were in the peak of your jump, because this is very important factor for a football player for his head gaming. And you will be able to see also what is the acceleration of your jump, so how fast you are jumping versus other players. And by that, we are motivating you to work on the specific parts of the vertical jump, and the same as vertical jump, you can take others. So we have a set of drills that are actually relevant for all of the youth athletes. So how fast you are accelerating and your maximum speed, and again, your jumping and other stuff. And we have also specific drills for soccer players, which are around dribbling and power kick and pass accuracy and kick accuracy. So based on that, we are actually learning what the users are really engaging with. We can see it on the social networks, what they are sharing. So we see that they're sharing this kind of insight, but they're not sharing the other. Then we know that this is what they are interested more, and this is what cause them to get back again and again to the application. So actually, this is how we build and decide which insights we share in the application. On the coach part, then we have a dashboard for the coaches when they can see a lot more insights than the single player. But again, we are not sharing with them everything because we know they will be bombed with all of this data. So we are working with the coaches to see what exactly they would like to see.
All right. Thank you, Shmulik, and I think Michael will keep your question for the next round. As we're maybe you had like a 10-second question for Shmulik, but if anything, we can always ask it at the end as well.
Yeah, let's pass. I was just going to talk about the competitive landscape, but we can go forward.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you so much, Shmulik, and we'll be stay on the line with us as we'll hearing the other pitches and going back to you towards the end of the event. So. Thank you, guys, and now we'll be welcoming Scott from Czech. Welcome on the line, and the floor is yours.
Fantastic, guys! Great to be here. 1 second, let's get this presentation up. Maybe
for sure.
I have to share my screen. That would help. All right, are you guys seeing that there, or is this? Coming up?
Not yet. You have this button at the bottom of your screen, share screen.
Oh boy!
And then
I don't want to be that guy. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, everybody. It says that it's sharing. Bear with me 1 second. Let me try one more time.
For sure.
So I'm. All right, I'm going to be that guy. I'm clicking the share screen button. I'm not getting any icons popping up right now. So
no. Okay. So now we see you.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Scott. So when you click on the share button, it doesn't allow you to share like some couple of windows and. No.
So no, I'm not getting a prompt. If just for the sake of time, if you guys want to bounce to somebody and then come back to me.
For sure. So we'll and if anything, we'll pull out the presentation ourselves and you'll just pitch on it. No problem. So we'll work on our next speaker. Stay with us, Scott, and we'll be moving to Peter from Upster. Peter, are you with us on the line? Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll just check if I'm the second guy who can't share the screen. Let's see here.
Yeah, the button at the bottom. Share screen.
Can you see anything?
There you go. It's loading. It should come. Yep. There you go.
Oh, fantastic.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Floor is yours, Peter.
Okay. My name is Peter, and I'm the CEO and founder of Hopster. Hopster democratizes sports and makes it easy to have sports and training gear available 24/7 in any shared space, public or private. One of the most important issues facing cities today, strongly intensified by COVID-19, is the availability of outdoor services that improve the quality of life, including recreational activities and sports. This is kind of like a classic thing you see in the public space, that we're actually surrounded by great public spaces and more new infrastructure, but people cannot play or train spontaneously. Even in New York City, which has more than 1,700 parks, playgrounds, and recreation facilities across the 5 boroughs, a ping pong table is not enough. You need bats, and that's where Hopster comes in. We provide the equipment needed to play 26 different games, from ping pong to petanque, volleyball to soccer, basketball to softball, available on site right where you need it and ready to go in boxes we call hubs. So this is how it works. It's really simple. You download the app, which tells you everything you need to know, what you can play, where you can play it, and even if someone is looking for others to have a pickup game, then you can invite them through the platform. So when you arrive, you use your phone to unlock the hub, and your favorite game equipment is there to borrow, as easy as renting a city bike or a scooter. Our business model is two-sided. We sell hubs for an average of $5,000 each for a revenue-generating activity, and we provide all operations for a service fee. We expect the hubs to generate around $600 a month from memberships and pay-per-use fees to the hub owner, leaving us with a lifetime value from service fees of nearly $30,000 per hub location. Long term, our aim is to own hubs and deploy them based on citywide permissions to speed up market expansion and to increase revenue. So not only do we offer the best equipment in the world, we also use patent-pending technologies to keep track of the objects and who uses them. And to date, we have not had a single object that has been stolen or vandalized. So during our first year, we were founded in 2019. We have been testing in Paris and Copenhagen with 2,500 signups and an average of 2 users per week per active user. And we already have distributors in place in 8 countries, starting with France, Scandinavia, and New Zealand. So the market has a potential of at least 200,000 locations in 31 countries, leading to an annual recurring revenue of $1 billion. In Europe, we have Paris and Copenhagen on board, ready for expansion, and we have secured LOIs for different market segments, from universities to corporate campuses to real estate developers, retailers, and global sports brands. We moved to New York last summer, and since then we're proud to announce partnerships with some of the highest profile recreational destinations in the country, including Domino Park, Cornell Tech at Roosevelt Island in New York, Governor's Island, and the city of San Francisco. So Hopster has a strong team of seasoned talents with deep market technology and execution backgrounds and a vision to succeed. We're raising $750,000 to democratize sports and make it easy to have gear available 24/7 in any shared space, public or private. We offer sports to anyone, anywhere, and anytime. We're the last mile in sports and recreation. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Peter. And I thank you for this great presentation. And you can right away stop sharing your screen and pull out the camera so you can come talk with the judges. Michael, maybe first question for Peter.
Yeah, well, first off, thanks again for having me. I feel like you can't get rid of me at this point. So thank you again, and apologies to everybody else for having to see me. So Peter, this is super cool. I'm really intrigued. Congrats on the progress, and I think you have a nice roadmap here. Question for you, a couple things. Number one, as far as sales cycles, it sounds like you're dealing with a lot of municipalities, governments, public sector. That's always kind of a red flag in my mind because A, they don't have a lot of money right now, and B, sales cycles are oftentimes very long. So I'd love to understand how you're kind of combating those two headwinds. And then the other component here is really around where do you see, if you do, in kind of looking at Citi Bike as an example here, product integration, monetization, right? Working with brands, working with other sponsors, so to speak, right? Endemic products, whether it be basketballs, bats, sporting good manufacturers as well.
Well, it's a lot of questions, and it's actually a platform leaving us with a lot of opportunities. But to start with the sales cycles, we actually have short, medium, and long sales cycles, and you're completely right. Cities are. Is the sound okay? Because it sounds a little strange here. Is it fine?
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah,
okay.
that's great.
So cities are definitely long sales cycles, and actually the whole thing about cities is to get permission, and then because it's a really good business case as an investment in itself. I mean, for instance. Providing a citywide play network for a city like San Francisco could be an investment case in itself. So actually what we're doing is to get permissions from cities and then fund it ourselves. But for short and medium sales cycles, I mean, we have a lot of different customers already. Property developers, they are like, it's like this. It's a kind of a no-brainer for them because they have this portfolio of properties. And what we do is actually that we enable the outdoor space, making it much more attractive. So as an example, property developers, it's a no-brainer. It's really easy to sell. We are working with two major sports brands right now, the biggest actually. I can't really say that more, but the two biggest sports brands around the Olympics in 24 in Paris, and some activities targeting youngsters in London and in Paris with the other sports brand. So that is definitely a part of our strategy that we team up with sports brands.
Cool. All right. Marcia, a question for Peter.
Yes, Peter, congratulations. It's very cool. So good to see your eyes shining while you're presenting your idea. I enjoyed that. I don't know if we have a very strange current exchange rate right now in Brazil, but $750,000 seems a lot. I would really like to see, or maybe you could provide us with more details of where exactly you intend to allocate this amount when you raise this.
Well, we're going to raise $750,000.
Yes, what would be the allocation of this amount? Where do you?
It's 25% to preparing the product for scaling, and the rest is for sale and marketing. It's really about sales. I mean, we have enough. We have a lot of different customers, and we can see that that we have a market pool right now. We just need more staffing. So we really need to grow our team to be able to take advantage of the opportunities. So it's, so the more staff we can get, the faster we can do it. The thing is, we have 26 different games right now, and 15 of them could be a separate vertical. So for instance, Street Basket globally, that's kind of one market. Beach volleyball is another market, and soccer is a third market. So actually, it's kind of like 16 startups in one startup, you could say, and that's why we need staffing, we need focus to be able to take full advantage of the opportunities.
Thank you, Peter.
Okay,
Maybe
thank you.
Question from Matilda, a very short question, if you do have one for Peter, and then we'll move on to Scott.
Sure, I think you kind of was speaking to it towards the end. I just want to understand better. I mean, I love the model, love the geolocational concept of it, the community aspect of it, but beach volleyball setup is a little different than, I don't know, a ping pong ball table setup as well. So how are you thinking about optimizing across these different sports, across different city geographies and whatnot?
Yeah, so actually we're taking one vertical at a time. The thing is, we have it's in an urban tech perspective, it's all the same. It's more about improving public space, and so it's not really a focus on each game. So we start with one vertical, and we're going to start with Street Basket. So we have hired a guy who knows everything about Street Basket, and then we're trying to figure out, how to be most efficient to conquer a global market, and then try to replicate that model to the other games.
All right. Thanks so much, Peter. Stay with us on the line as we'll welcome back Scott from Czech, and Brendan will we'll go first with you on the next round of Q&A. Scott, are you back with us? And have you figured out the sharing screen? If not, our team can pull it out for you.
Let's. I'm still getting.
All right, no problem. So I'll ask my colleague Fernanda, which is our head of marketing here at Coliseum, if you can pull out the presentation for Scout, and then All right.
Ooh, little instant.
There you go. So just give us a little signal, a little signal when you want to switch slides, or and then you can just go ahead with the pitch. All right, the floor is yours, Scott. Good luck.
Yeah, 2020 got me ready for this presentation. So, all right, let's kick things off. My name's Scott Garber. I'm the co-founder of Czech, and we are excited to tell you who we are, what we do, and why we do it. Next slide. Let's everybody go ahead and put your administrator hat on, and think about yourself in the course of a season. You have a ton of different responsibilities. Distributing funds is one of those responsibilities that we found to be very clunky, cumbersome, and has a lot of gaps in the way that it's done right now. So we have, next slide. So from the youth to pro market, we have identified a huge area where we can come in and make an impact. We see here at Czech that carving out of that $100 billion TAM, that we have the ability to go ahead and address $1 billion with our solution, which is Czech. Next slide. So you guys at this point might be wondering, what is Czech? We are an alternative cash management solution with the ability to distribute funds from a central holding account out to fully controlled virtual and physical debit cards. Next slide. So as I mentioned, that 100 billion market is made up from youth, college, and professional sports, and we make an impact in each one of those verticals. Strategically, we help platforms that are raising funds. We integrate and give a single ledger to now put controls on where those funds are spent from coaches, and we give visibility to everybody in the organization. Our bread and butter is in the collegiate athletic world, and we partner with college athletic departments, and we serve as the distribution of per diems. So think you have one single source, many cards, and controls on those cards. Professional, this was a real shocker for us, but when these athletes are traveling, it's still typically done in cash or check form, and there's no visibility to how those per diems are actually being spent. So we've had success plugging in all three verticals and modernizing the distributions of funds. Next slide. So we believe in the KISS method over here. Keep it simple, stupid, since administrators have so many other things on their plate. So when we partner with an organization, we sync to their central holding account. We have the ability within our tools to upload users all at one time, schedule payments to go ahead throughout a season and be allocated to the cards. And most importantly is we close the loop. So now all that loose change and the things that collecting receipts, those days are done. We have the ability to go ahead and redistribute the funds that weren't spent back into the central holding account so they can be used for future use. Next slide. So you might be wondering now how we actually monetize this. So right now we have two prongs in which we earn money. So we have a monthly subscription from $3 to $5 per card, depending on the volume of the account. And we also make 0.8% on the interchange of all the transactions that run through Czech. In the future, we're going to be implementing a cash back mall where when the check card is spent there, our merchants are able to, or our users are able to go ahead and earn cash back. And then we're going to also provide more robust reporting with deeper data analytics for our end user to understand their behavior. Next slide. So we have some competition, but nobody playing in our space. So think about DiviPay, Zestful. All of these tech stacks have been built specifically for the corporate and SMB world. So when we ventured into the sports space, we built a fintech solution that is custom and fits like a glove for sports organizations to go ahead and streamline this process of cash distribution. Next slide. So when we go to market, we have two different ways of approaching this. We have direct sales and we have strategic partnerships. So we have the ability to integrate and serve as the digital wallet in existing applications, which has been very powerful for us. We also have the ability to go standalone into organizations and universities and service them, whether that's one team or the entire athletic department. Next slide. So we are a bootstrap organization made up of 4 folks: Chris, the other co-founder, Aaron, who leads up our technology side, and Tony, who's doing UI UX. And we are here today, next slide, asking for $500,000 on a $3.5 million pre-money valuation. And we plan to use those funds to go ahead and achieve 100,000 active cardholders with an average spend of about $2 million rolling through our processor each month. That capital would give us an 18-month runway, and we are bootstrap founded to date. So that is Check. We are excited to answer questions. Thank you for listening.
All right, thanks so much, Scott, and come with us back to the stage. And I think you guys illustrate that SportsTech is so much wider than just strict SportsTech solution, but we can merge the world of finance and sport. And I think my first question from Brandon, I guess, because as a former athlete, you might have experienced some of those, pain points that Scott was emphasizing.
Yeah,
Brandon?
definitely, Scott. Thanks for a great presentation. And can you hear me?
I got you. Yeah.
I think you have a potential as a game show host if this doesn't work out, but. In terms of that voice and that energy. I certainly speak to the ways previously done in terms of like passing out meal money and on plane, everybody just get an envelope of a couple $100. And I don't know how you're going to work in the pain point of our team travel director, kind of loitering and kind of hanging out to get a tip for all the things that he hooked you up with before, but that could be an interesting thing as well.
All right, Brandon. I think we got trouble with
I want to ask quickly about a or you've done how that's worked out any just from potential channels.
All right.
Well,
Brandon, I think we've had trouble. Scott, if you got that question, then you go for it.
I'm just glad that I'm not the only one with technical difficulties, Brendan. So thank you so much. But no, I couldn't understand the question. So I don't even know where to start there.
All right. So Brendan, you might use the chat if you'd like to just pull that question to Scott, and then we'll get a question from Marcia in the meantime. Marcia, do you got a question for Brendan? For Scott, sorry.
Well, I think Scott covered every single aspect that I was to look into, so I think I will pass on. No further questions, Your Honor.
Oh, wow. I have a question here, Tim, if it's all right.
Yeah, we got Brandon's question. Just he was asking about trials or early traction and feedback. What was the feedback from the athletes? You put this and the coaches, and then also the trials and the early traction you're getting. And Michael will go right there with you right after.
Yeah, 100%. So the athletes in transparency don't like us because when they had the cash model, they could go and do whatever they wanted with it. And so our early success has been giving that single point of that administrator full control to go ahead and take this off of their plate. And then there was a lot of time and human capital in the recouping of those funds. And so with COVID, it's actually been sort of a blessing in disguise because it's opened up their mind to new possibilities on, ways to go ahead and become more efficient within their organization. So it's been really good. And we've actually seen some dynamic use cases outside of per diems. Now traditionally athletes eat in a buffet style, and they can't do that at university anymore. So we're seeing a card with controls on it and a distribution channel to serve really effective for unforeseen circumstances like a COVID.
All right, thank you, Scott. Michael, you got your question.
Yeah, I got a dog barking here too. So if you hear anything, it's not me. So real quickly, Scott, nice job. Obviously, nice improvisation with the slides. The question I have is this: you reference a few other kind of non-industry specific examples, those being some pretty large exits. Where I'm struggling right here is understanding what the market is in sports specifically, because that seems like what you're describing as your niche. To me, this is, a nice business. Don't get me wrong, but tell me why I'm wrong when I say this isn't a venture investment.
Yeah, so we see this scaling there's my dog, sorry. So we see this scaling in the sports vertical. And as we continue to evolve the tech stack, we find the nonprofit as a nice parallel that is untapped in this as well. So that has actually been the adjunct to this in our sports vertical, are these athletes that had nonprofits that were looking to infuse capital back into their communities. And so as we opened up and came outside of the traditional sports world that we found that there were other use cases to take this from a very, niche market and expand it out where our incumbents aren't playing right now.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Matilda, a question for Scott?
Yeah, I think I'm also going to dig a little deeper there to try to understand sort of, thank you for Scott for the energetic presentation there. Want to understand better sort of the, unique differentiating capabilities that Check offers specifically within the sports world. Is it the user management system? Is it the distribution of the cash flows? Is it the card? Like, what exactly is it that cannot currently be replicated by an incumbent out there?
Yeah, 100%. And so it's going to be the user, like the UI, so built specifically for teams to be able to segment them out and schedule those funds. And then it's going to be the ability to customize those controls on the cards that are specific to what that organization or university is looking for. So as we continue to get feedback, we are iterating on the product to fit that glove. And that's on the direct sales side. And then Matilda, we also have the integration as a service. So serving as a controlled distribution source for existing platforms is how we plan to get to economy of scale pretty quick. So think your Teamworks or Sports Engines of the world, where we would plug in and serve as that mobile wallet with those features that we built out from the users in the sports space.
All right.
Hopefully that answers your question.
Thank you. Thank you, Scott. Thank you so much. And all right. And again, thank you for the improvisation out there. Well done. So Scott, stay with us on the line as we welcome our last startup today, Podium, and Mike from Podium. Mike, welcome. Hopefully you'll be able to share your screen without any issue right here.
Yeah,
Mike?
Can you hear me okay?
Yep, can hear you perfectly.
Ah, there we go. Super. Yeah, let me share my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
We do. Perfect. All right, the floor is yours.
Super. Nice one. Hi, everyone. My name's Mike. And I'm the founder of Podium. So I've been a mountain biker for 15 years, snowboarder for 4, and computer gaming for a long time now. And I've always been frustrated that I couldn't experience the same engrossing, addictive, and deeply engaging experiences that computer games provide, but in physical sports. And so what we're doing is connecting action sports communities together and gamifying mountain biking, surfing, skiing, and snowboarding And so we aim to make every real world sporting activity and social interaction like an online game. There's 200 million participants out there today. So you download the free mobile app and you play in social game modes such as themed photo challenges where the community decides the winner. You can see the example on the left there, Sweetest Yellow Ride. Everyone uploads their best yellow mountain bike, snowboard, whatever it is, and the community votes on the winner. So that's one of the first gamification modes there. And you connect with clubs and communities and stay up to date. And then if you want to unlock our performance-based game modes like Elevation Challenge and Most Airtime, you purchase or rent the Podium device. This is an IoT sensor technology. And over 90% of our survey respondents told us they want these gamification experiences. And then finally, if you're an action sports brand, you can connect with your target audience in a new way by creating customized game modes which you send to your consumers. So, for example, if a ski resort is opening a new ski run, they would create an elevation challenge on that particular ski run, and the winner gets a free ski pass, drives attendance on launch day. We have our first customer. His name's Ollie. He's got 60. He runs a 60-member strong mountain bike club in the UK. Very excited about what we're doing and wants to use it for local government in the area that he's in. So mobile apps like Strava can't do what we do because they lack data integrity. Only 28% trust today's tech. And hardware like Garmin just lacks community engagement altogether. And so that's why they can't deliver the gaming-like experiences that we can. From the community side, we believe it's realistic to go after 16 million people in sort of 5 to 7 years on engaging on the platform. And then from the device side at $150, we believe we have a $1.5 billion opportunity with the 200 million that are in action sports today. So obviously from a channels perspective, most people will come in through the App Store and experience those experiences for free. Some will come in via the device. That's $150. You can do that buy directly online. And we want to go through clubs and resorts as well and offer a rental option because a lot of people like to rent equipment in the action sports space as well. We've got 200 pre-launch sign-ups. We're doing a public launch next month for the app. We've got 16 members. We've raised 300K to date, and obviously we've got our first club. On a go-to-market perspective, we're focusing on getting clubs and communities onto the app because they bring a lot of users with them. We want content partners as well, so we can make our feed more interesting. And of course, we've got the B2B2C gamification elements. If we can get access to a large action sports brand's social media following via the gamification piece, then we can hack our growth there. We're looking for 400K now at a 3 million post-money valuation. That gives us 15 months runway, 5,000 app users, enables us to complete the device MVP and launch a pre-order campaign on top of that. In terms of the model, we're looking at a 60% gross margin with a $30 customer acquisition cost. And we believe that the total financing required to scale to 100 million in revenue would be 7 million. Myself, I've spent my life in enterprise cloud technology and mechanical engineering, and the rest of our team has spent many, many years doing consumer product development and software architecture consulting. And we also have an advisor who's previously been in executive positions at NBA and Senior Sports. That's that.
All right, thanks. Right on time, Mike. Thanks for that. Amazing to hear about Podium, and we've seen over the last few months, like the virtual merging with the physical world, and I think that really embodies this. Maybe we got a question for Mars here. Would you have a question for Mike on this one?
Well, yes, congrats, Mike. Really interesting.
Thanks.
I see that you know your competitors quite well. I guess you have many others, and would really like to understand a little bit in details how you differentiate yourself from the others. I think that was very superficial. I need to know a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So so look, there are plenty. Well, not plenty, but there are many action sports devices out there today, IoT sensor technology type things, which detect activities. And if you look at all of them, none of them really have a deeply integrated community experience. And if you look at online gaming, the reason online gaming works is because you go online and you can challenge thousands of people at any one time and engage with them in a game mode, right? And so that is really the differentiator there, is that, these devices, they don't have that gamification architecture so that you can put it on your bike or your snowboard or whatever, hit a button, and you're immersed inside a game instantly with someone else that's online somewhere else in the world. And then if you look at the mobile app side, especially in action sports, these apps just don't. The smartphone platform has an inherent limitation that it can't measure things like airtime, and it can't measure skill-based things, and it's very, very inaccurate. And if things are consistent and accurate, you can't implement a game. If you don't trust the data, you have no game. So yeah, that's the differentiator. Hopefully that makes sense.
Thank you,
Okay,
Mike.
thanks.
Do we got any judge that'd like to ask a specific question to Mike, Brendan, Mike?
Yeah, I have a question, if it's all right to jump in here. I appreciate the presentation, Mike. Nice job. As far as the acquisition cost, that's always critical.
Mike, it seemed like you had a few advisors and three main. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry, a quick question. I'll let Brendan jump in. The question I had was really, I know it's hard to evaluate this right now, but what do you anticipate being a lifetime value of the customer if you're spending $30 to acquire them?
So at the moment in the model, we've got the lifetime value as $150 per year. And that's all we have in the model at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, I think one of the challenges I see here, and I'm not sure if you're looking to address it, is what is the B2B2C approach here to bring down that acquisition cost? I always find that, for early stage, even pre-revenue startups, that being kind of the death of a lot of them, because it's basically a money pit. You're just tossing cash at trying to acquire users, and that's not something that typically venture investors like to hear. So do you have another plan for go-to-market beyond B2B or B2C?
So right now, the plan, like I say, is the B2B2C piece and the clubs and communities, right? With our first customer, we've proven that we have a useful tool for clubs and communities. And so that is, that's the one that we're doing right now. We haven't started the B2B2C thing. And so I'm hoping to grow the business initially by getting clubs and communities together. I was speaking to a surf group the other day with 30 surfers in California, saying that it's an absolute nightmare getting everyone together and they want to grow their community. This is a perfect app for them. So there's that side as well.
Great.
All right. Thank you, Mike. I guess, Brendan, if we can hear your question, we'll take it. If not, just use the chat and then we'll push it to Mike. I think we got a delay on Brendan's side, so we'll have him use the chat. Matilda, did you have a question for Mike before we move ahead and then?
Yeah, sure. How much are your financials that you shared just now dependent on the adoption of the device itself, scaling on the app side, right? I have suspicion that you could probably get to some reasonable figures on the app side without necessarily needing the device. I'm going to make that argument similar to what a few other judges sort of alluded to earlier.
Yeah, so the financial model at the moment is just based on those device sales basically. So that's what that's based on at the moment. What we haven't explored is potential revenue through the B2B2C element. But yeah, that's all the model is at the moment.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mike, thank you so much, and stay with us. I know we had a question from Brendan, and I'm so sorry we couldn't take it, but we'll we'll push it to you right after if it makes sense. Thank you so much, and stay with us as now we're going to have our judges have a little round and tell us a little bit more about who they thought I performed today. So maybe I'll start with you, Michael, asking you to share your overall feedback and come up with your top 2 of the day, and then we'll keep track of those votes to be able to elect all the top pitch of the day. And I welcome back on the stage Peter, Shmulik, Mike, and Scott. Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks again to everyone who pitched today. And by the way, Tim, I appreciate the AirMeet platform. I'm so sick of Zoom at this point, so this is a nice welcome change. Thanks for exposing me. So real quickly, I think, in general, I'm seeing great ideas just at different stages, kind of in your life journey. So it's sometimes hard to say, this is the best, this is one that needs probably a little bit more refining, because it's not an apples to apples here. What I would say is, I really like the model, Peter, that you've developed with Hubster. I think it has a lot of application, a lot of scale potential, and more importantly, you're kind of bringing in diverse audiences, right? It's not just a sports-specific conversation. You're addressing big needs right now, particularly in kind of the smart city space. How do urban communities look to rebuild, to unite people? And I think you have a really solid narrative around that. So, if I had to rank it, I really like yours probably the most. Shameless plug, we're running a smart city initiative right now, so we should talk as well. Shmulik, again, I think, youth sports in general right now are kind of facing historical declines in participation. And so anything that can energize that base and bring people together, albeit in a virtual way, I think is going to continue to resonate. So I really appreciate what you've done and the progress you've made. Scott and Mike, I think I like what you guys are doing. You're solving problems, and I think that's the start of it. I just think I'd like to see a little bit more validation, to circle back here as you bring on additional clients.
Okay, thanks so much. Thanks so much for the comprehensive feedback, Michael. And so we got Hubster and Playform on your side. Matilda, I'll turn to you.
Got it. Well, first, thank you so much to all the speakers and the founders for presenting. It's actually really encouraging to see continued innovation during this time. So thank you for the session. In terms of my top 2, right? We're going top 2. Hubster, Peter, really like the community aspect that you're trying to create with the sports here. I think it's definitely tough times right now, but COVID is going to be managed. And if anything, this is something that governments, societies are going to be looking for to recreate those connections. And I think you're just going to be helping solve that problem there. I'd be curious to know how you tackle the scaling across the different sports and the different cities, and also understanding the cost model a little bit better, but maybe we can be in touch later on that. Playform with Shmulik. I love what you're doing to sort of a systematic way of tackling coaching at the youth market space. I think there are a lot of players in this space all doing individualized types of systems and whatnot, but to see it in a digitalized format, how developed your platform has been is impressive. I also think going forward, there's probably a data play on the back end of that, and be curious to pick your brain a little bit more on how you think about that. As for Scott and Mike, your startups, I again also like what you're trying to solve, Mike, on a community aspect, and then Scott also solving the pain points that I'm sure a lot of teams do have. I'd like to understand the business models a little bit better, but thank you so much. I think everyone did a great job today.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Matilda, and thank you for joining and sharing those amazing insights. Marcia, we'll come to you. I think the deciding vote will come maybe to you, just not because we're in the Supreme Court justice nomination period, but so I think Brendan, we lost Brendan for a second, so maybe it will come down to him. But first, to hear your feedback.
Well, you have to make very difficult decisions on a daily basis as an investor, but this was tough. Wish I had more time to ask more questions, but it was great to listen to all of you guys. I think my top two today, difficult decision, but I would say would be Playform and Hubster, because Playform, I see that combines innovation and technology very well, give great support to the sports industry. I would really love to see how you grow, Shmulik. Hubster, because I think you have great potential. You create communities, you help solve an urban issue, you develop a relationship with the city coming from Rio, which is very prone to outdoor activities. I can see this growing in Brazil. To Mike and Scott, congratulations, you have a great idea. I think you still have to develop. It's a little bit more challenging, I think, but it resonated very well. I would love to keep in touch with you guys.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Marcia, and thank you for taking the time and joining us today. And hopefully we can hear from Brendan. If you can share your overall feedback to the startups and your top two, I think you might have the deciding vote here. Ooh. I'm not sure we're going to be able to hear from Brendan. We've been struggling so far. Brendan, if you can share your top two on the chat, that will be very helpful. That will be very helpful. And then in the meantime, maybe I'll ask the startups for 15-20 seconds to share some comments about what the judges said. Maybe starting with you, Shmulik, hearing the feedback from Matilda, Michael, and Marcia. What can you answer to them?
Yes, first of all, thank you everyone for your feedback. So actually, what I would really like to emphasize that we are focusing on the analytics, on the insights part of the player stuff, and on top of that, we are adding the implementations around player development and other things down the road. But we see ourselves as a data and a technology focused company, and this is what we are really have the passion about. We believe that with our technology, we will be allowed to the mass market to really benefit of this data and analytics. And I'll really be happy to keep in touch with all of you and share with you how we're doing now on penetrating the market.
Thank you, Shmulik. So Brendan, I asked him to share his top two. We'll have to wrap it up. Maybe Mike, Scott, if you want to say a few words to our judges, the floor is yours. Let's have 1 minute among you as we're choosing the winner.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, thanks for the feedback. Really appreciate it. And obviously, yeah, I mean, it seems the consensus is that we need to validate a model, and we're obviously quite early, so we just got our first customer, and I'll make sure that over the next 6 months we're looking at all the potential revenue streams of what we could do with this community that we put in place, and make sure that if the hardware for whatever reason didn't come to fruition in the way we wanted it to, there's other revenue streams on the platform as well. So yeah, that's what we'll be looking at. Thanks.
Thank you, Mike. A few words from you, Scott, and then we'll be announcing the winner.
100%. First and foremost, thanks again for the opportunity. I look forward to connecting with all of the judges offline. With my background in sports tech, we know that this is a real pain point, and especially as human capital is getting squeezed, organizations are looking for new ways to go ahead and streamline that. So at the end of the day, life is all about connections. And so I look forward to connecting with you guys all on LinkedIn. Tune into our podcast Checkpoint, where we're bringing on influential leaders in sports, and that's who we are. So thank you again for the opportunity.
All right, amazing. Thank you, Scott. And actually, as I turn to Peter, I'm happy to be announcing the winner of the day, and Hubster is winning this edition of the Sports Demo Day. Since Brendan gave his vote to Hubster first and Check second. Brendan mentioned that he enjoyed all the presentations, so congratulations to all, but congratulations to Hubster, which will be pitching on the Sports Tech Demo Day finals at the Sports Tech Nation Summit next December. So Peter, turning to you, reaction to all the judges that elected you top pitch of the day, and we'll see you very soon in about a month.
Well, thanks a lot for all the comments. I really appreciate that you mentioned the community because that's actually why we're doing it. That is to bring people together in the public space and connect, because all sports interest starts with playing. So actually, that's our focus. I'm really happy about those comments. We have an urban tech perspective also, and so it's kind of like it's a sports tech startup or it's an urban tech startup. And for us, it's actually just about connecting people in the public space. So thanks a lot for the comments and for the honor of winning.
Amazing. Really thank you so much, Peter. And thank you to all the judges, Matilda, Marcia, Michael, Brendan. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us. Shmuley, congratulations as well. You got a lot of nominations from the judges, Brendan, and Scott and Mike. We'll see you very soon. And again, please book the date, December 8th, Sports Tech Nation Demo Day Finals. Join us and, to hear some more amazing sports tech companies, and just wanted to say thank you. Connect with us, ColosseumSport.com, on LinkedIn, SportsTechNation.com for the event that's upcoming, and again, please stay safe, take care, and see you for another round of amazing sports tech companies. Thank you so much, all. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. Bye-bye. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Marcia. Bye. Thank you so much. Bye, Brendan.